Way back when in my college days, I took a course called Classic Filmmakers, and that particular semester it focused on the films of Alfred Hitchcock. And one of the many devices he liked to use several times in his films was that of the gentleman killer. Think of a film like Psycho or Strangers on a Train, where the killer seems to be a nice enough person, mild-mannered, even sociable, and that persona would make him appear innocent. You would never suspect him of doing something so nefarious as killing another person. And that brings us to today's episode. This is the Kazdoy Closet. I'm Kazdoy. That's my closet full of all the stuff that I love. And today, the true story of a gentleman serial killer who almost got away with it. Let's check it out. Today's film is 10 Rillington Place from 1971. It's about 2 hours long in color. This is the true story of John Reginald Christie, a serial killer and alleged necrophiliac who killed at least 8 people in London during the 1940s and 1950s. Now, honestly, I had never heard of this person. This film is way under my radar. Really never heard of it except some people online mentioning it. So this film begins very interesting because it shows us his modus operandi, how he lures women into this particular room to perform certain medical procedures or to help them with health concerns they might be having. And he's so mild-mannered and convincing and manipulative that he can prey on whatever the woman is suffering from. He figures it out and kind of preys on it. It could be something like migraine headaches or even an unwanted pregnancy. Then he has a ritualistic way of killing them using certain tools that he likes to use, certain piece of rope and certain hoses and stuff like that. And he uses gas and then strangles them, and followed by some groping and kissing while they're dead. And I think something else was happening there, but they don't show it in this film. We do get a little bit of his backstory. Not a lot as the film progresses, but never really a clear explanation totally of why he's doing what he's doing, and that's okay. We get some hints of what's going on with him. The main part of the film revolves around this young couple with a child that move into a flat in Christie's building, and that's where I'm going to stop with the plot because I don't want to give anything else away. The beginning I gave away was like the first 10 minutes of the film. And if you read anything about John Christie, you're gonna find out a lot about what happens in this film. So if you want to go in fresh, I suggest you not read too much about him first. So instead of getting into spoiler territory, let's just focus on why I think this film is so successful. And it really comes down to two things: the cast and the director. Richard Attenborough plays Christie. We, as the audience, know what his real intentions are with these women, but none of the other characters know that. It's a wonderful performance by Richard Attenborough. His expression changes as he's doing these things from like excitement to relief and then back to excitement. It's really something to watch, and watch the gears turning in his head as he's manipulating these women and luring them into this room. He did a lot of research for this role. He's tried to get into his head, tried to understand why he would do these things. And one of the extras, he says he was glad when the film was over because he wanted to get out of this guy's head. The film also makes a statement about capital punishment. Richard Attenborough and also the director were both against capital punishment. And so it makes a statement about that, and capital punishment was abolished in the UK in 1998. The other, Richard Attenborough, you might know him, we probably know him from Jurassic Park and maybe from The Great Escape. I think of him right away from Brighton Rock, which is a very good film. He gives a great performance as the sleazy criminal in that one. And I did do an episode on Brighton Rock, so if you want to check that out, look up that episode. The other great performance in here is by John Hurt, and he's the husband of the young couple that move into the same building Christie lives in. He's very young here. I don't think I've ever seen a film with John Hurt so young, so it's pretty early in his career, and he's just outstanding. He plays kind of this dim guy who is very temperamental, but he can't read or write, and it gets very emotional and flies off the handle all the time. Great performance by John Hurt here. You probably know him best from Midnight Express and The Elephant Man, and also 1984. Now, the director was Richard Fleischer, and he made some solid noirs, including Trapped, The Narrow Margin, and Armored Car Robbery. And he also directed Conan the Destroyer, The New Centurions, and See No Evil with Mia Farrow, which I also did an episode on if you want to check that one out. But this film is wonderfully shot. I really like how they sparingly use music. They're not hitting you over the head with it and to hype up the drama. It's not needed. It plays out, and it is much better that way, I always think. But that's one of my pet peeves. It can be kind of creepy and disturbing at times. And the film has aged very well. It looks great. And very efficient filmmaking. No montages. No characters staring into space for long periods of time. So very well done film. So as you can probably tell, I am quite impressed with this film. Really enjoyed it. So my rating for 10 Rillington Place, I'm going to give this one 5 cups of tea out of 5, because there's a lot of tea drinking going on in here. It's engrossing, great performances, well-paced, interesting characters, and a true story on top of it all. So what's on this disc? This is an indicator disc. This is the standard edition, unfortunately. I wish it was a limited edition with the booklet, but I guess that wasn't available. It's region A, B, and C. There are 2 audio commentaries, which I did not listen to, and a couple of solid extras. One's an interview with Richard Attenborough, and one's an interview with Judy Geeson, who plays the young wife that moves into the building. And those are both about 20 minutes long. So where can you see 10 Rillington Place? Well, you can buy it, you can rent it. As of this recording, it's on Amazon Prime, and even better, it's on Tubi, which is a free service. So if you want to see it, check it out there. So feel free to leave a comment or suggestion down below. Leave a thumbs up. Don't leave a thumbs down. Subscribe would be great. Share this with your friends and neighbors. We're still trying to get to 1,500 subscribers. We're about, I think, maybe 150 away or something like that. So subscribing is free. Also free is we're on the Letterboxd app under the Kazdoy Closet. There's a link down below in the notes. That's where we leave brief written reviews of other things we're watching that we don't talk about here. Most recently, Hitman and Stop Motion. So check that out. Otherwise, hope you like this one. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.